Afternoon, everyone. So I am not gonna lie, this is actually my third attempt at making this video, so I hope that today actually works out. First time, no bites, nothing. Second day, hooked one, brought it in, nearly got it in my net, broke off the hook into the water, and I was so upset, I was livid. Third rendition, I hope, is going to be the charm today. You can notice the poles right there in the back. Today takes me a little bit different, and we are going after one of my all-time favorite fish, and so I hope I have an opportunity to catch one for you guys today and really talk about how amazing of a fish they are. All right, so here's where I'm fishing. So highway's right there. This is a fingerling of the Wateree River, which is a major river system here in central South Carolina. And what's really cool is that this creek is actually relatively deep towards the middle here. I'm not sure how deep it is. It's probably about 8 to 10 feet deep right here in the middle. And as the water gets hotter throughout the day, there's less oxygen that's in the water. And it's not uncommon now to see the bowfin actually come up and just gape for air, since they're air breathers, which I'll talk more about that when I actually get a hold of one. And it's cool because there's this tree that's right here in the middle. It kind of cuts the creek in half. Something just jumped out over there if you saw that. So first, I gotta catch some live bait. So we're gonna go down the swamp over here to this little pool and see if we can catch some small sunfish. Kind of sucks because it's like 90 degrees right now, and I'm wearing long sleeves, and this is a Project Simus Florida shirt, by the way. If you don't have yourself one, get yourself one and subscribe to Project Simus Florida as well, which is Glenn Bartolotti. He's a long-time friend of mine. Is basically a nice trade-off. I would rather wear some that keeps me a little bit warmer in this 90-degree temperature than the amount of yellow flies and deer flies that I get bit up with out here. It's just really uncomfortable sometimes because bug spray just doesn't really do it for them. There's a brown water snake actually right there. It's a really large one. We're gonna try to grab it. Nope. So that'll be the first bait. Some more bait right there. Beautiful fish. All right, the line is in right now with one of the sunfish bait that we are using. So I'm using a live bait. We're gonna let this sit out here and hopefully we get a bite. Stay tuned. All right, my line's been in for a little while and I'm really seeing a lot of activity over here right now. So I think I might move over there just because I've only seen one come up on this side. So I might give that a shot here. And it basically involves me just walking across this log here across the creek and onto the other side. And this is the only way to get to the side of this creek. So it's kind of nice that this is conveniently here and it's a nice size to support my weight. So yeah, see, there's some movement right there. Again, those are bowfin, and there's also gar in here as well. The setup I have right now is more bowfin friendly because of the size of the hook, but you never know, could still possibly catch a gar. I'm gonna give this my best shot. I'm gonna go to where I'm seeing the most activity, and I've been seeing the most on this bank right over here. So let's see what turns up. Check this out, guys. Here it is. This is a bowfin. Amia calva is the Latin name for this. So a lot of people out in the southeast in the low country refer to these as mudfish, but the formal common name is the bowfin. So this is a predatory fish, and what's really cool about them is that these are the last remaining fish from their order that they belong to. So most likely when fish first kind of came around in the beginning of time, they most likely resembled a fish very similar to this. So the head on this fish is pure bone. So one of the reasons why they're really difficult to get a hook in is because you have to have a really sharp hook. And so their gills are also a little bit different than other fish. Since their gills can't separate from their body like other fish do when they breathe, so they actually have this larger scale right in the back there that's called an operculum, and that actually protects its gills. And you can see they're called a bowfin because they have this very long dorsal fin in the back. And this is a really beautiful one. I've never caught one with some red on its body like this, but wow, this is just a wonderful fish. This fish, you do not want to put your hand in the mouth of that because they have rows of needle-like teeth. So females are larger than males. Typically males have a circle in the back there on their tail fin. So yep, this is a good size fish. Another kind of nice adaptation about this fish is if you ever get your hands on one and you notice how slimy it is compared to, say, if you catch something like a largemouth bass or anything, you'll come to find that slime that they produce is an adaptation feature. Very similar to some other fish, such as gar, this fish is able to breathe air and spend quite a bit of time out of water. So that's why I'm not in such a rush to put it back right now at this moment, just so I can get this video for you guys. I'm just so blown away by how beautiful this fish is. So that fish producing this slime is able to give itself moisture and hydrate itself for those periods of time that it might be out of water. Because a lot of the places they might spend time in, they might not spend time in a large main river system, but they could possibly get stuck in a place that dries up, kind of like this creek I'm fishing in right now, since there are parts of this creek that are kind of back more towards the north back there that are pretty much landlocked and dried now and separated from the rest of the creek. I don't want to spend any more time with this fish than I need to. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful, guys? Bowfin. Let's go ahead and let this big girl go. All right, I still have 2 line in right now with cut bait. So that's what I just caught that big female bowfin with. It's starting to get a little bit later in the day and I've been out here for a few hours. So I don't know how much time I'm left I'll be able to kind of devote to this, but we'll see. Give it about another 10-20 minutes and see how I do. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap up and then head back home. I got a bite and it took off, hoping I had another bowfin, and this little gator came up. So now I got to deal with this guy. He is really pounding the line right now. Well, the good news is that gator snapped off before I had to get my hands on it and actually get the hook out of its mouth, and then had basically death rolled and got the line caught up all around it and basically undid the death roll the other way. And then it eventually just snapped out because they also have a bony jaw as well. So thankfully he got out and was able to swim back in the water, and he's already on the other side. But kind of caught off guard by that because I was really surprised. It felt just like a fish. And that's obviously not what it was when it came up. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm so glad that you guys stayed in and stuck with me today. And we're able to see some really, really cool animals today. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.